live. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, in the house. We got Chase in the sound booth. Chase, what's good, man?
Livin, Neil, just living.
Her day.
Yep.
We got intern Simeon here in the house as well. Simeon, the number one most wanted man in Nashville, not because of his prowess in the bars with the ladies, but instead because of Vanderbilt football. Who knew? What's up, man?
That's all I got to say. Let's go Doors.
It's anchor down?
I think it is, yeah.
I think it is.
I think it is anchor down.
Spencer Raxter in the building.
Hello.
All right. But D-Mac, a lot of hockey stuff to get to today. No question about that. Lots of movement in and around free agency. There's a ton of stuff to get to. Where does the chat want to go today? Because I'm getting the sense, D-Mac, there's a Red Wings crash out brewing. And here's why. Got some texts from some people that are friends of mine, grew up with, went to school together with, etc., that are not hockey people. But we're like, hey, what are the Red Wings doing or not doing? So, D-Mac, I think that kind of tells you all you need to know in terms of what the street says. So, do you want to do the Pistons stuff because they made a big move, or do you want to do the Red Wings stuff, D-Mac? So, you know when you're getting texts from non-hockey people.
I don't care. You drive, and we'll go wherever you want to go.
We'll let the people decide. How about that? Let them choose their own
There you
adventure.
go.
Yeah, so we will definitely get into that as we get ready. Do you feel the holiday vibe at all, D-Mac? You starting to feel it around town?
I haven't really thought about that.
Yeah?
So no.
All right, fair
No,
enough.
not yet. Although maybe, but I think it's more summertime vibe because noticeably less traffic.
Is this one going to hit a little different this year,
So,
D-Mac?
so that's sort of like the pre to the 4th of July, right? Because then it's And by the way, I just watched this morning. Be careful, there's extra police out there looking for speeding tickets because they need to pay some bills.
Need that
That's
revenue.
what they flat out came out and said, well, we need some money for the this county and this county and this program and this program. So watch out. So
Is this 4th of July going to hit a little different,
that's why
D-Mac?
cruise control's your best friend. Sorry, go ahead, Chase.
I said, didn't you get your citizenship or like everything a couple weeks ago? So like, is this 4th of July going to be a little special for you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's in process.
Not yet. Yeah, I couldn't make it. It's a process or whatever. So,
But he's lucky because he still had Canada Day. D-Mac
I
was going to get
celebrate
the
both.
holiday no matter what.
yeah, I still.
Oh, you get both in the same
but
week?
I worked on Canada Day. See, like, dude, that's it. It falls in. I sacrifice for you guys. That's what it is.
CFL.
No, I don't know.
should play a game.
Does it feel weekendy? See, I'm excited. I won't be in tomorrow, so no Thursday fights because my grandson is in town tonight.
Oh, very cool.
So in from California. So he's a year and a half now. So I haven't seen him. So spending the next few days with them. So, but do you get excited for
I like the
weekends
vibe.
like this? The
I like the
vibe?
vibe, and it's selfish, right? Like, for at least I admit it, so you guys can all piss off. But anyway,
Self-awareness.
like the EV thing. I don't do the EV to save the world. I do it because it benefits me.
Convenience.
Convenient. Like
Neil, what is your rule when Brady, when anybody asks you for something, you'll give them the shirt off your back as long
as it's easy.
As long as it's easy.
I'll do anything in the world for anybody.
Yeah.
As long as it's easy.
Yeah, if it's
and that's
easy.
not my quote. That's a Homer Simpson quote, by the way.
Well,
So I
you
didn't come
know,
up with
a lot
that.
of synergies with
I've
there.
leased it though.
There, yes.
No, but I like it for the reasons that you mentioned. Number one, lack of traffic or decreased traffic. I enjoy that a lot as a guy that drives a lot in my everyday life. I enjoy that a lot. So that's where it starts. That's where I like it. You want to get involved with the show? We have the chat poll going on right now. What do you want to do first, Red Wings or Pistons? I did, speaking of the Pistons and some of the moves they made, I did talk to, basketball, my basketball people in the world. Spenny, where were you at initially with the Duncan Robinson thing? Because we talked about it yesterday before it happened.
Yeah.
And you said, hey, I'll take it.
It's a shooter.
Yeah, I won't not take it. You need it. Like, that was the thing. Spenny, my basketball people gave me some intel on him, like, analytically, that I was blown away by.
Yeah.
That we're going to get to in a little bit. And it was flat out stunning, and it has me intrigued. Especially, Duncan Robinson has never played with a Cade Cunningham level guy with the ball in his hands.
No, he is
fair?
not. That is fair. Cade will be the best facilitator he's played with.
Absolutely. So it moves itself towards that genre. We'll get there. Right now, in the Woodward Sports chat poll, 54% of the people say Red Wings first. Then we will get to the Pistons. And D-Mac, I know you said that you're out tomorrow, then your holiday weekend. You got to battle through today with me, D-Mac, on the Red Wings.
Oh,
stuff. People are mad. They are.
Can't. Well, okay. I mean, madder than they were like
Yes.
a month ago or 2 months.
Yes.
Like what, Matt?
Spenny, are the streets madder? More mad?
I think the streets are getting scared. Because, like I said it on the heavyweights yesterday, something's going to happen. They're going to make a move. They're sitting still on, at the very least, $12 million in cap space because there's an offer sheet on the table for Soderblom. We'll see what happens there and how much that ends up being. But they're not just going to – this isn't going to be it. It's not just going to be James Van Riemsdyk. I'm sure they're going to make some kind of move. But now you're kind of forced to do it in trade. And we'll see what they do.
And the market's steep.
Yeah. The trade for Keandre Miller –
Because I got a real life example. You know I do, and you know exactly where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Exactly where I'm going with it. And I can't wait to get Spenny's take on it. Because, D-Mac, what I'm going to do for the people, if this ends up holding out, is I'm going to, just like we did with the Piston stuff, I'm going to give you the real world Red Wings application of it. And Spenny's going to say no. I know you are. I know you are. So we'll get locked and loaded, everybody. Woodward Sports chat thread. If you want to jump in there, get your thoughts out there. We read them all show long. We lean on you guys to program the show, especially on a holiday week. Ryan's reaction in the super chat. If you want to skip the line, use the super chat. Ryan's reaction. Shout out, Larry. Prayers to your father-in-law. And that one I must have missed in the chat. But again, Larry, feeling for you too, man. I want things to work out for you, my friend. So. We will get to it, no doubt. WeezyD313, did Neil bring up Abdelkader yet? D-Mac, I got asked about it last time. Did I not?
Yeah, still on the books. It's the intricacies of what you're dealing with, and yeah. Anyways, I got it. I don't want to get into it because I got a take on what's going on, or the way that it's more apparent to where the NHL is now and how to get to that next level. It's not through the draft, right? Like if you look at it, and I'll give props to Vladdy and Rico and whatever like this because it brought to my attention. I heard a clip on this, the fact of, yes, the way it used to be is you draft and then you'd bring in other guys and you'd be good, but you built your core with the draft guys. But you look at around and you look at the way Florida's done it, the way the Tampa's in the past, is that Tampa's like the last team that you can draft that core and sort of get away with it because it's 2025. That was 10, 12 years ago, right? So you need that core of guys, but you got to make a move. And you got to make a splash move. And whether it's like a Kachuk and Huberdeau, a top guy, like something to get in the mix. And until then, it just seems you're going to be right around this area. Yes, you can. So what would you say? There's is there 3-4 teams maybe that legitimately can win the East? Like if it's not Florida, right? Can it, like we say, like Toronto? We keep waiting on everybody else. Yeah. Waiting on Carolina and whatever like that. That's what I mean. It's like the teams. There's almost 3 different levels. We're on the level of the teams that make the playoffs or get in and stuff like that. I like the move for Gibson. I think that
it's a good
can
move.
Get you there, right? You have the goaltending. That was one of the things we had to address, and you couldn't go into the season, I didn't think, right? Like, because it shows you the biggest bomb of what Coase is. But also, too, where you look at it, there's money there, but it seems to me to make a splash or to get that guy, you're going to have to trade somebody.
Yep.
Right? You're going to have to put this package, and it's not about, it's, yes, developing these guys to be NHLers, but if people get impatient to wait, and if you want to make a splash, you can't wait, and you have to sort of like roll the dice. So I got to believe that there's a guy or a few guys out there that you're willing to make that move with.
Hope
But,
so. Anyway.
but
There has to be.
the whole thing is it might not be this year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
All right.
Let it play out.
In the chat, Ryan, our guy in the back, Ryan, I'm with you, Neil. Love the decreased traffic. Also in the Woodward Sports chat thread, DNC ENT got pulled over yesterday for running a damn stop sign in my neighborhood. Shout out Neil Rule. I am the OG of that.
That is true.
And I did beat the allegations. Me and Diddy.
Shout
Pause.
Maybe not the company I'd like to keep, but hey,
Hey, both free men.
great lawyer.
I got let go with a warning and a, hey, did you know your tabs expired in 2022? DNC&T, you're lucky, because if I'm the officer and I'm going to let you go with a warning and your tabs were expired, you're getting hit with everything. That's just how I would be. But, hey, man, you fought the law and you won. So good for you. Christina, hello, Big D Energy. Go Detroit Red Wings. Christina, thank you. I appreciate you tapping in. All right, in the poll, what do you want first? Red Wings, 58%. Then we ride. That's what we're going to do. So let's lock in, everybody. Spenny, tell them about Les Stanford.
I will tell them about Les Stanford, because if you're looking to buy or sell your car, Les Stanford is a great option. They've got deals for everybody in 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive, $259 per month. 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $699 per month, or a 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation, $169 per month. Get into Les Stanford today. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with the top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com. Scan the QR code, Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Okay. We're off. The people want to talk Red Wings. We do what the people say. Don't worry. We have a 4-down football package coming up later every single day. We're in July, so it's football season. That's the way that it works. Okay, here's how I want to attack this. We're going to do the Red Wings real-world application trade machine that I invented.
Okay.
We're going to do that later, a little bit later, probably next segment. But in the meantime, I go to Darren McCarty, and you touched on it. You think there's more, there's something else that's going on, and look, D-Mac, you know me, you know where I stand. I am a Steve Yzerman fan. I'm not somebody who's here like in the chat that I saw earlier where they said Yzerman's numbers should be pulled down from the rafters, the dead wings, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going there, everybody. That's a little aggressive, and I mean like a lot aggressive. And I'm not going to do the hope and fear to you. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit here and talk to you like I'd be talking to D-Mac if we were out at an event or sitting at a baseball game between innings, or if I was with my buddies having a beer or whatever. That's how I always talk to you guys. So anyway, with that being said, D-Mac, you think there's something else coming? I want to give you this statement, and I want your reaction to it.
I think Spenny thinks there's something else.
There
coming.
has to be.
I mean, there's got to be. My statement is that if it's gonna be by looking at what's in the bank account, right? Flexibility, but be prepared that it's going to be like a trade. It's got to be more of a trade than it is a signing, because I don't see that guy out there that's going to do everything that you need or you want or what this team needs. I know you mentioned a Jason Robertson. I don't see him signed yet or whatever like this, Spenny, but to me, that's not the one answer. You know, he could be one of a couple of them, but I think, you know, it's more of a deal to be made, and maybe it's not. Like, what happens if he doesn't make another move, or who is that move for? So I just don't think that he's got as a lot of options, and with what the options that he's done, I think he's done a good job, because getting Tarasenko out of here is a big thing. Like, he's got to do better with his NHL stars. We can agree that he can draft guys, and that's a great tool, right? When we talk about Brad Holmes, we say that he can do both, right? Talent evaluation, and also too, ain't afraid to draft an injured guy or whatever. Well, Steve Yzerman can draft guys and develop guys, and we see that slowly but surely, right? Not as quick as we want, but slowly but surely. And there's one that we're dependent on coming over that was drafted a couple years ago, right? That we're hoping to make a splash to make it different in the Sand Pelicans. So I just think, like, until it's done, I don't understand why everybody's wasting your energy. And whoever said that thing about show me how idiotic you are, but it shows me how frustrated somebody is.
No,
right?
and look, D-Mac, I want to give this statement, kind of where I stand on it right now, and I want your reaction to it, D-Mac. I am probably a little more patient with Yzerman than most, and I will freely admit that, and I will freely say that. I look at the resume of what he's done in the past. I look at what he's meant to this organization. I look at all that, and all that plays a part. Whether you want it to or not, all of it plays a part. And I will say this. I also feel that way probably because I think I have a bit more of a grasp of what he walked into than most. Is that fair?
I would 100% agree.
Yeah. And somebody
you
said
made
earlier,
it apparent to I would be more upset if I didn't understand the financials, because you've explained them and the mess, right? It's like the ball of yarn that was tied together. It's like it's the worst messed up fishing spool.
No, and it is. And look, with that being said, to me, like, year one was not year one. Year one was year -2 or -3, because you had to do roster deconstruction and organization deconstruction to get down to the foundation to then start to acquire talent through the draft. Because remember, and again, and I'll say it, I don't give a shit if it makes you mad or not. When he walked in the door, Franz Nielsen, Justin Abdelkader, for one that asked earlier, Jimmy Howard, Darren Helm. You roll those all together, $18 million of cap space with years left. And your best prospect in the system was Philippe Zadina. By far, he was the best prospect. Am I lying about any of that? No. That's what the reality was. So that's a baseline. And I can say that. And had to restock the system, all of it. And that's fair. Now, I will say this, D-Mac. For the first time, I do feel as though there is some urgency now. You had linear progression You quote unquote took us a little bit of a step back last year. So now something's got to give. Now I will say this: I am not going to be held hostage by NHL free agency or trades that are going on around me or anything like that. I'm not. But I need something. You get where I'm going here? I need something. Whether it's ASP, whether it's a Nate Daniel, I see you shaking your head, Spenny. I need someone up. If it's not going to be through that, then I need something. I need something to believe in.
ASP and Danielson are not ready for the NHL.
And I'm not saying those guys in particular.
Yeah.
I need something. Give me someone.
Can I interest you in James Van Riemsdyk?
No, I'm not. No, come on. We're gonna get to that later.
Yeah, not saying that that's a bad. That's a fine
$1 million.
sign. It's a good signing.
It's $1 million, and it's obviously locker room and
that's a good signing. But
for $1 million,
you need more. And like I said,
well, of course,
I was freaking out yesterday because I still believe it's going to happen because with the money that they have. Like, Stevie's not just going to bank that and go buy a Ferrari or something. Like, they're going to spend that money somehow. They have right now $15 million still in cap space.
Yeah, they're top 10.
They have an offer sheet out there for Soderblom. That's probably going to knock $2 million off of that. So you'll still have enough money to get 2 impact players.
And I like it. Lock him up. He's done.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's fine. Re-signed Soderblom. They re-signed Berggren. Maybe he's going to be a part of a trade going forward. They re-signed Aljo to a 2-year extension. They brought in a couple AHL guys and a 6th or 7th defenseman. And then they brought in James Van Riemsdyk. And I like the James Van Riemsdyk contract for a 1-year guy for someone who you want playing on your 3rd or 4th line.
I wish we had him 6 years ago.
Right now, he's looking like a 1st or 2nd line forward with the team you've got going out there right now.
And that's fair.
And that can't happen. But
by the way, a member of Patrick Kane's draft class.
Yes, and you re-signed Patrick Kane. And I liked the deal for Patrick Kane because you got rid of Tarasenko. And if Patrick Kane can play that Tarasenko role where he's on the 3rd line and he gets power play minutes and stuff like that, and he's not really a hamper to you in your 5-on-5, okay, awesome. But like we said, we need the pieces to be put in place ahead of them. They haven't yet happened yet. I still believe they're going to. But like I said, now it's kind of much like last year where you had all of your chips in the Trouba basket or whatever, and that didn't work out, and then you're sitting there with dick in your hands. So something needs to happen. I do believe something's going to happen. I don't know what it is, because Keandre Miller just went for a hefty price.
That's coming up next.
So we'll see, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, Woodward Sports Super Chat, Ryan's reaction. If you don't mention who you're replacing Stevie with, then your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a monarchy. Remember, Queen Elizabeth II was like 65 years. I mean, tell me who the replacement is if you're so mad that it's going to be, because it's not. So please move on and let's just wait and see. It's okay. I mean, I don't blame anybody for being frustrated and stuff like this, but Neil, you said it before, is that you see the path, and it's just harder. But it seems to be able to make a splash or do whatever, you're gonna have to make a bigger trade and get rid of somebody that you thought might have been here or that you had it on in order to bring somebody back. A la what Florida did. It just seems like that's today's NHL. You got to make a move to get that guy.
And I think a lot of people are frustrated, but they mistake it for wanting to fire Steve Yzerman. I think you can be frustrated. You can want them to make a move, but still be frustrated and upset that we haven't done anything yet because, yeah, the options are dwindling quickly, and that's where the urgency comes in. They have to make a move before all of the relevant options are gone. Every team is looking to get better this offseason. You have to as well, and that is where I am critical currently, is because every team is making a move but us, and that is dwindling the options that are good options in the trade market.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Nerf, Ken Holland has never been a good GM, and he left a mess for Yzerman.
He's leaving a mess in L.A.
Yeah, look, he was at that time with the way the NHL was at that time. And it's easy to say, well, you got an open checkbook, go to work. It's not that easy. It's not. And, Scotty and this guy, Scotty Bowman, and this guy to the left of me will tell you all about It's not that easy, dude. It's not. And I give him credit for it. Just like I give Phil Jackson credit for being a good coach. Because it's not easy to deal with that kind of locker room and do all that. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Harvey Wallbanger, we have the top 2 picks from 2007 in 2025. That is funny. I don't care who you are. That is funny. Cody Engel, is that what you really said when he was hired, Neil? Were you honestly thinking no playoffs for 7+ seasons? It's cool to back Stevie, but what did you honestly think when he was hired at the time? What have I been saying, D-Mac, from the moment I got here and you and I started doing this show together, and I said, guys, we don't understand the wreckage that this franchise is. And I said, and we're never going to admit, and you want it? Like, if you want the truth of it, we were one of the worst organizations in the NHL. We were in the worst shape of anyone in the NHL. Like, people want to talk about the Canadians. They had just had a Stanley Cup Finals run, and they had some bones left. And they had like guys like Suzuki and these other guys that have come up and are stars now in the league. They had that. We literally had nothing. So no, Cody. And I'll say this too. 2 years ago, they won more games than a team that got in the playoffs. I didn't flip out about the fact that they didn't make the playoffs the way everybody else did because it was literally the same. Like the Capitals came in, got dusted in 5 or whatever it was. It was literally the same. So Cody, I kind of hold that. I wasn't flipping out and losing it about it. I wasn't. But I'll meet you all in the middle. Something's got to do here. Something's got to happen here this offseason. It does. So I wanted to get a baseline. Tristan, Berger was never right. Dude just doesn't have game.
I mean, yeah, we know what Bergeron is now. Like, he's had enough time to try to develop and try to be something more, but he hasn't. So, like I said, the re-signing to Bergeron, I believe he's going to be used as a piece to move to try to get somebody else. We'll see what happens, though. Again, you're waiting on a lot of things. Hopefully, they have to do something. They literally have to do something.
I can't. And again, I'll reserve the right of judgment. I need to see somebody from somewhere, be it within the organization, be it through a trade, be it through free agency. And look, they didn't do the DeBrincat thing right away on July 1st.
No.
So
July 8th.
July 8th it was? Okay. So, all right, let's do this. Let's take the break. And when we come back, we're going to do real-world Red Wings trade application. For all the people that are jumping up and down and screaming and hollering, and I'll use the people in this room, because these are hockey people I trust. Because you actually, watch games. You know what channel it's on. All of that. So, all right, let's do this. Planet Fitness, everyone. We're live at the Planet Fitness studios. Got a good one in, as a matter of fact. Last night, kind of change up the routine in the summer. I go after work. And got it in. And now back at the Planet Fitness by my house over there in Shelby Township. But this isn't about that. This is about what Planet Fitness is doing for the kids. That's right. Teens 14 to 19 can work out for free all summer long, all the way up to August 31st. Very, very easy. It's a high school summer pass. You just be 14 to 19 and walk into Planet Fitness, fill out some paperwork, and boom, you have a free membership through the summer. Planet Fitness is aware that a lot of kids out there, no high school sports over the summer, no gym classes during the summer. You got to keep movement. Movement is what makes you healthy, everybody. Planet Fitness certainly doing their part. They're using their resources. They're doing it. So again, planetfitness.com. Roll into your Planet Fitness. If you're age 14 to 19, you can work out for free all summer long. It's a high school summer pass brought to you by Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce here every Tuesday where he always talks about the sauce. Talks about getting the sauce and the right sauce. And Thursdays, that'll be tomorrow on Ermanni and Edwards. Always top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy, trust him for 4 Stanley Cups. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
All right, we're off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're talking Red Wings, and July 1st has come and gone. And can I interest you in JVR? We like it. We like the signing. But, I don't know if I'm the best source. I like the Tarasenko signing.
The James Van Riemsdyk signing it's not a bad signing.
No, it's a year, it's $1 million.
He is cheap offense. He'll give you 15 goals and $1 million. That's fine.
That's a win.
Cannot be the only thing you do, though. I'll lose my mind.
Spenny,
yeah.
That look in your face right there.
Yeah.
Are you okay, man?
No, like I said, I'm not freaking out just yet.
All right. Woodward Sports chat thread, Bry Guy. This is how we know DMAC has an impact on the streets. Yzerman doesn't care about your timeline. Wrong or right?
Facts. Well said.
Yes. All right. I want to do some real-world application stuff. And young Justin's here. He commandeered the massage chair from intern Simeon for the Red Wings discussion.
Is it commandeered or kicked him out? That was like,
it seemed aggressive.
Did you hear him chirp his ass too on the way out? Ooh, the seat's really warm, Simeon.
Yeah, he had something to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. Upper management.
Yes.
Is Justin the Steve Yzerman here?
Without the resume, yeah.
Yeah, without the resume. Resume less Yzerman.
He's got a Steve Yzerman opinion of himself with a Nate Danielson resume.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start calling him 1-9.
Rad Dad Scott. Yzerman wouldn't trade for McDavid because Nate Danielson might work out in 5 years. See, like this. Look.
That's funny.
It is funny. I don't care who you say, what side of the fence you're on. That's funny. I disagree.
That's funny if he wasn't serious.
Right. It's funny if he wasn't serious. Anakin Skyogre headed to Port Austin for a vacation today. Enjoy.
Shout out.
It's a good day for it.
Port Austin's a great place.
It is a great place. Phil, Justin is frustrated. Okay. Keandre Miller.
Yep.
Spenny trade target. High priority trade target. Did get traded to the Rangers for a first-round pick.
From the Rangers.
A second-round
Carolina,
pick.
right?
To Carolina.
To Carolina.
Yeah,
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I said it backwards. My bad. Got traded from the Rangers to Carolina. Boy, the Rangers, man, it just all fell apart quickly, didn't it?
They're doing something, too.
Next year's first-round pick, next year's second-round pick, and highly touted defensive prospect Scott Morrow, who, and I looked it up, according to most, a top 20 prospect in the National Hockey League. He has been shooting up the prospect charts. Do we all agree?
Yep.
Okay, that's fair. So I, with what I like to do, would give you the Red Wings equivalent, and we will go around the room and discuss. Spenny wanted Keandre Miller badly.
I did.
D-Mac, you were intrigued.
I was like, you got to make a play for him.
Right, absolutely. Young Justin, I would assume you're all about. You're the new generation. You're all about the transaction. Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, I will give you the Red Wings equivalent, which is very, very simple. The Red Wings first round pick next year, the Red Wings second round pick next year, and ASP. That's the equivalent.
I don't think that's the equivalent.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Moro's a top 20
100%
defensive prospect.
Unproven prospect of what you could be or whatever. That's the closest thing that you have.
And here's where I got you, young Justin.
Unless you're going to move Johansson and somebody else.
And here's where I got you, young Justin. You can't do the equivalent. You got to go above it. So even in your world, if you think ASP is better, that's the cost to go over the top. That is. So either way. So you doing the deal or no?
I think Johansson would have got it done. But no, I'm not doing the deal.
Why
for
would
ASP.
Johansson get the deal done when they got a top 20 NHL prospect?
They know what he is. They would have been Johansson and Danielson. Or
I would have done that. I would have done that.
But they didn't want it.
No.
They
want it.
You're not going to offer ASP or whatever. Like, it's also.
They don't want your less thans, Justin.
Danielson isn't a less than.
They want a top 20 prospect in the NHL defenseman. That's what they want. And a first round pick
Danielson wouldn't
and a
make
second round
Carolina's
pick.
forwards.
So are you doing it?
No.
Then you can't be mad. Then
There's
you can't be
still
mad.
a plethora-
That's the cost.
That's fine. There's other moves I would have made.
No. You can't do the trade machine bullshit. You can't do this
And
move
you can't-
because you won't.
And you
I
also
don't wanna hear
can't-
it.
Eisman would have never also given up ASP. Let's talk about that as well.
Neither would you.
Because I feel the same way Eisman does.
Okay, well then you can't be mad. You can't be. So just don't sit there and tilt your head like you can't be mad. You wouldn't do the deal. And that's my point to everybody out there. That is the Red Wings equivalent of what the Rangers gave up.
Hey, we're talking tariffs these days. The Wings have tariff tax on making transactions because of where they're at.
Tristan, Keandre Miller isn't even proven. Stop letting Justin talk puck, for Christ's sake.
I mean, he's pretty proven.
Yeah, but
He's very proven.
He's a guy with the size or whatever. They've proven that could probably make you to the playoffs. The question on him is the jam.
He's proven that he'd be the third best defenseman on this team, hands down.
But it's not about that's not the competition. Is the competition about getting better? How does that relate to you with the league and everything else?
Yeah, that would get you
It's
better.
not very hard to be the third best defenseman on this team.
No, because you only have two that are worth a shit, and so that's why you need to add more top D defensemen.
I would say 3.
Woodward Sports Chat.
Put Johansson in there.
I don't think Johansson is a top 4 defenseman on a team that's winning playoff series. He's not.
Just like Larkin's not a number 1 seed.
He can be if you put talent around him on a team that's winning playoff series. Yes, he can.
Yeah, but Spenny, see, here's the thing. Where it works too. I'm not worried about your top 4. I want him to be the best 5 in the league because you see what comes. You see what happens in the playoffs.
And that would be
That's what
awesome.
you need.
Yes, that's what you need. You need Johansson to be the best 5 in the league, but you need 4 better than him to be a 5. And right now, you don't have 4 better than him.
You got 2, and you need 2 more.
Woodward Sports Chat thread. Phil, Neil yelling at everyone, shouting them down. No, Phil. I'm passionate about this because I want people to understand the real world and not the goddamn ESPN trade machine. That's what I want. So for everybody that's on Twitter like losing their shit about this, I want everybody to understand the real world application.
I wanted Keandre Miller. I did. I'm not mad that the Red Wings didn't make this deal to get Keandre Miller. This was a steep price that Carolina paid to bring him in there because they're trying to win a cup. So do I want the Red Wings to make this deal for Keandre Miller? No. But I would have liked to see him on the team. But Carolina paid the premium price to get him. That's what you got to do.
And you can let it lie.
Yeah.
And Spenny, that's why I like talking with you because you're based in the real world. Like you get passionate about stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But you also accept fact. And that was the cost. Are you doing it or no? You say no. You say no. D-Mac, you doing that deal?
No.
So it's the guys that I know that know hockey, unilaterally across the board, say no. So like the people that are fired up about it, that are talking like, what's Yzerman not doing? So you wouldn't do the deal. So why would Yzerman? Tev Sauce 2. Can Justin just use his dad's credit card to help us get a top 6 defenseman? Can we trade the boat?
Can we? I would trade the boat.
Would you trade the boat?
I mean, I would consider it. How bad it is right now, I'd consider it.
Would you rather have your boat or ASP?
Oh, dude, that's a tough question. ASP.
Well, we gotta get in the real world here, Justin.
ASP. ASP's going to be the truth. That's why I wouldn't trade him. But, like, at the same time, Neil, I get what you're saying. And that's why on Woodward Wings yesterday, none of us flipped the shit about Keandre Miller. It would have been nice to get him. But, yeah, that package was steep.
Did you flip through Red Wings Twitter?
Red Wings
While
Twitter
this was going on?
hates me right now.
No, I'm saying, though, did you flip through it? Like,
Yes.
did you flip through Twitter?
They are either in
Twitter
love
is a
with
real
that
place,
move
and
or
it's not sane people.
they're not. They're not. I think we've all reached that conclusion. I think Nate Danielson's going to be Sidney Crosby next year. So
Can you chat poll it?
What?
Would you have done that deal? Would you have done ASP, a first and a second for Keandre Miller? Because that's what it would have taken at a baseline. I don't understand the outrage to it.
I don't see much outrage.
I think that,
On X yesterday?
Yeah, no, again, X isn't a real place.
I think the real outrage is we're going to be attempting to hit a huge rookie parlay next year to even be remotely good. We're going to have to hit on Danielson. We're going to have to hit on Lombardi. We're going to have to hit on ASP whenever he comes up, if he even does.
Well, then you can't include that in your parlay. If the following sentence is, if he comes up, then no.
I personally of the opinion that he will be up. There are other people like Max Boltman who think that he won't be. So I do respect Max Boltman's opinion to kind of temper my expectations a little bit. But when you're talking about a guy like ASP, like you saw what Lane Hudson was able to do with limited help and limited defensive ability, just offensively for the Canadians. And that's what I feel like, even to a percentage, ASP will do for you. Bring that puck-moving element to your team. Bring that offensive upside that he has. And I feel like he does more to help you in the 5-on-5 scoring-wise than he hurts you 5-on-5 defensively.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Kevin Donaldson. Don't forget, guys, last season that we were dismal prior to Christmas. Then came the Todd father. This year we get a full season of McClellan, and we were obviously better once he took over. Yeah, but it was the same finish, man. Like, that's real.
With
real.
this roster, they will flame out again in March or April. I think it's that simple.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Get into their Paper Chungus. Twitter's the only real place left. YouTube super censored. Okay.
Twitter's full of cousins.
Big Dan Davis. I do like the Gibson trade. We have a legitimate starting goalie. Gibson is pretty damn good, just so long as he stays healthy. So, and then
Another
the Ski
if.
Mask boy.
Another if.
The Ski Mask boy. I'll always read this. 91 to the rafters. Make it happen.
It's fair.
Brendan, how much to get Neil the karaoke Kelly Clarkson? You just got to catch me at the right time. Like 1:15 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 12:45 if we had an aggressive evening. MPWMU, just give Yzerman another 8 years. Neil Rule. When did I say that, Spenny? Did I space out and say that?
No.
DMAC, you're the accountability minister. Did I space out and say that?
I don't even. That doesn't even get that goes to McJesus on the underling. He didn't even pass that up to me. That's so idiotic. You absolutely didn't say that.
Okay, let's take the break and look. We're gonna wrap up this discussion. We're gonna get into the Piston stuff also. We have a 4 down for football because we're doing them every day, all the way until football season. I did see someone talk about top 5 Friday or top 5 Wednesday. We have to punt on the top 5 today. I was told we got some issue going on with the graphics department, so we will have to punt on top 5 Friday. Hey, justice. It just means different things to different people, but whether it's a settlement or a verdict, justice is always worth the fight. If you've got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law today and get the justice you deserve. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers. Ben Johnson Law.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Yo, Rule here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Scan the QR code on the screen and download the Caesars app when you make your first deposit using the promo code Woodward1000. Make sure you use that code. That way, when you make your very first bet, all the way up to $1,000, whatever that number is, if you lose that first bet, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. Yes, all the way up to $1,000. Get geared up for football season, everyone. Caesar's one of the OGs in the sports betting game, the gambling game. Really, the app is clean, easy to navigate, doesn't glitch out on you. The live betting is elite. So again, it's all there for you. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we're wrapping up, getting your reactions to the Red Wings talk. A little bit of breaking Tigers news, I guess you could say. Kerry Carpenter placed on the 10-day injured list is retroactive to June 30th with a right hamstring strain. They brought up Trey Sweeney from AAA Toledo. Sawyer Gibson-Long has been placed on the 15-day injured list, retroactive to June 29th with neck stiffness. Tyler Owens has been recalled from AAA. Bailey Horn has been recalled from AAA Toledo, and he will serve as the 27th man as they have a doubleheader against the Nationals today. 110, 105, 1 o'clock and 6:30-ish. Those are the game time. I know that the granular crowd's going to be like, well, it's 1:15, Neil. Okay, whatever. Around 1 and around 6, 6:30. That is it. Also, too, by the way, A.J. Hinch, and this is according to Chris McCoskey on Twitter, A.J. Hinch has said Reese Olson's next start will be in the majors, most likely in the Cleveland series, possibly Friday. Also, too, in the American League, teams that won more than 10 games in June, all of them except the Guardians, the Twins, the Royals, and the White Sox.
Spenny, Neil's got a question for you.
Spenny, are you prepared now to, here on July 2nd, say that it's over?
No.
Does that stat inch you closer to it being over? If at the end of July,
It's
the
not
same
over
stat
until they
applies.
clinch the division.
All right.
What happened to you, ma'am?
I've seen things.
You used to be somebody I could trust.
It's not over until they clinch the division.
They are. The Guardians lost again last night, by the way. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They are now 12 games back. The Minnesota Twins are closer to the White Sox than they are to the Tigers. And if the Guardians lose today and the Tigers win, then they also will be closer to the White Sox than the Tigers. So you think the White Sox could catch the...
I think anybody can catch them until they clinch the division.
Also, too, Miami Marlins have won 8 in a row and 9 of 10.
Shout out.
They are ahead of the Braves in the NL East right now. They've caught the Braves, just like everybody.
So can we trade for Ronald Acuna? Is that what you're saying? Braves are falling.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
That was a joke. They're not going to trade Acuna.
No, they're not. Jesse Adams, quick question for Neil and D-Mac. When this team doesn't make the playoffs next year, will we admit that Steve Yzerman experiment hasn't gone well, or will we wait another year? Well, Jesse, who's the replacement, Jesse? Who's the replacement? Quote, some guy from Boston that I said they should have hired 2 years ago. I don't know if he's still with Boston yet or not. Jesse. There has been linear improvement every single year he's been GM, with a slight regression last year. Is that fair? The year they missed the playoffs, they won more games in regulation than the team that went to the playoffs. It isn't as dire as you're all making it out to be. You want all these moves, and when I give you what it takes to make the moves in real-world application, you say no. That's it. That's my point. I'll honestly say Woodward Sports Network is one of the most free speech chat rooms on the internet. I've said more wild-ish here than most and never been threatened with a ban. I've even come at hosts personally. You can come at me anytime you want because I know what I'm talking about. Pause.
It's fair.
All right. I'm not just sitting here going down a sheet, reading off checkpoints to you. I'm not doing that, I'm doing this weird thing. I'm having a discussion with the people and getting their thoughts and putting my points out there. DNC ENT, did we do rest in peace yesterday?
We did not.
We did not.
It's been a hectic couple days.
Yeah. July 1st, man.
Yeah, a lot going on.
DMAC, July 1st is like one of the busiest days on the sports calendar that nobody even
talks about.
Yeah, or
ever.
Knew existed
Until
prior
it
to
happens.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was wild around here.
Like it's gonna be a busy day at work. And
You were about to be on the boat.
yeah, I was gonna. Was a mistake if I would have done it, but I'm glad I've been here because
Cody Engel can't
nothing.
wait for the linear growth banner ceremony. Cody, it's the way it works. It's funny.
That is funny.
I'll admit it's funny.
Yeah, jokes.
that's elite.
But it is the way it works, right? Like San Jose's not popping up and winning the Stanley Cup this year. They have like $35 million in cap space. I theyght there was a floor you had to get to.
They're like 10 million from the floor.
Watch out
Are they?
for Celebrini and Misa.
Yeah.
They're gonna be so
They're gonna be
good.
so good.
Oh, and they got Will Smith too. They are going to be nuts in a couple years.
And they're going to get Gavin McKenna next year.
My sister hooked me up, DMAC, with a signed Michael Misa and Zane Perrick photo. She works for Dick Garber up there in Saginaw.
That's sweet.
So can we all kumbaya?
Could I interest San Jose and Andrew Kopp?
Probably not. Maybe.
They got to get $10 million.
cap space.
That was like how the Datsuk trade worked.
But
Arizona had to get to the
if you're
floor.
getting rid of Andrew Kopp, you're getting rid of your best PK guy.
Yes.
And a center that you need. And you haven't replaced that.
Well, I was
with
told he has
anything
to be
yet.
out of here.
I
By
don't know
who?
who told you that.
Okay. How about you think they're
Confer. We can talk about Confer.
Shoot Confer into the moon.
Okay.
Cop is
That's fair. That's the same stratosphere of
'cause, like,
salary.
James Van Riemsdyk, good signing. Again, he can replace a third or fourth line forward, hopefully, but he doesn't play penalty kill minutes. And you desperately need that. And Kopp's good on the penalty kills. So right now, Andrew Kopp is unmovable for the Red Wings right now, unless you're making that. That's where we are
Yes.
as a team. Like, you need Andrew Kopp next year, unless you make a move, which I expect
Hold on,
them to
did
make.
I
a move.
miss something? Was he not when McClellan came in and until he got hurt, the way that you could play him?
He was very good.
He was
No,
very
that
valuable.
like he made you go look. Somebody bring it up and
Yeah.
go look when McClellan came in to when he got hurt, the Wings record or whatever, because it was a different Andrew Kopp than
Yes.
the one we signed and the one that played under New Zealand.
Yeah, he was playing well.
So in saying that, it's also like they have to be counting on him for some sort of production because he did a good job opening up. You need him for the PK, bar none.
You
Bar none. So
desperately
you
need
know
him
what
for
this
PK.
is? If leadership and what he's been brought in to do whatever, put a star on that. This is like put up or shut up for whatever because he ain't going anywhere because of the contract, whatever. But I saw things under Todd McClellan, when he was healthy. So let's not ignore that.
No, Andrew Kopp. I liked Kopp.
No,
a
let's
lot
not
last
ignore.
year.
No, the Kopp before, previous, and the year was disappointing.
Yeah,
wasn't up to snuff.
17-6-2.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
No, did you hear that? Will somebody repeat that, please? What was the record?
In between the dates of December 27th to February 27th, around when he got hurt, I can't find the exact date.
Right.
The Red Wings were 17-6-2 in that
Do
span.
you
since
remember
McClellan
what
took
happened
over.
when he went out and then it
Yeah.
was the outdoor winter classic game and they lost, whatever, and it went on the down and
They couldn't hold
they
leads.
couldn't hold the lead. So what I'm saying is that you also too don't dismiss that.
Cobb is a solid player. He's
No,
he's
Cobb, but he could be the key to what they have to 17-6-2 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
It is not.
So take that as a positive, as something to sort of lean on. That we have to see.
Cobb helps. He's very good on the penalty kill, and you desperately needed that last year. He shouldn't be better than your third center. Cobb should be, at the very best, your third center.
That's
and
fine.
That's what you need to.
As long as he makes your freaking team go.
But right now, like I say, you need to improve your top six. That's not like Cobb is staying here. He's not going anywhere. You have to improve your top six if you want to be. Right now, you're the same team you were on paper last year. You just switched out James Van Riemsdyk for Vladimir Tarasenko, and that will be marginal improvement. But you still need defense, and you still need a top six forward.
We're in the same spot as we've.
We're in the same
always
spot
been.
we were last week.
No, we're all year trying to find that 1C.
Yeah.
Or now even
And
that
I would
top
argue
six guy.
probably in a worse spot than we were at the end of last year because Kane's a year older, one of your top producers.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, but again,
whatever
Kane,
it's worth.
I like the deal for Kane. I like bringing him in.
I do
He
too.
can't be top. If Patrick Kane is in your top six, and if Justin Hall is a first-day skater next year, you are not making the playoffs.
But right now, as we sit, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why we're crashing out.
Yes.
But they're good. But like I said,
Spenny.
something is gonna happen. Something
Spenny.
is gonna happen.
I
Lewis
feel
Bishop
like
says
it's
Kopp is the
just
key.
copium
Well, we're
now.
fucked. He's not the key. He is a good player, and he is important for your penalty kill, which you desperately need to get better. But you are still deprived of talent.
I feel
And,
like I'm
and if you're
coping.
telling me right now, again, they're going to make a move. They're going to bring somebody in. But right now, you are expecting Lucas Raymond to figure it out for an entire year, Larkin to not fall off in the second half, Marco Kasper to make a jump, Danielson to be a big player his first year and even make the team out of camp, and ASP to be a top 4 defenseman and make the team out of camp. That's not all going to happen next year.
What are you talking about?
So you're
it sounds
gonna
like you
have
got
to
a
make
parlay and you need JMO to have over 71 yards receiving, but under 76.
Yeah, it's you got to improve it again. Woosah, they're gonna make a move. I know they are. They have to. They're literally sitting on cap space that they're not just gonna sit on forever.
Before we go to the break, if you were San Jose, what would you take for JT Compher, who has 3 years and over $15 million of salary?
At least a second.
Gotta get at least a second.
Yeah, it's going to take like a second.
I was gonna say I'd take a first. I would demand a first.
I would ask for a first.
I would give you a first, or I would ask for a first, and I'll take a third, and I'll take Sherratt too, who has 1 year and almost $5 million left.
But then,
Could you take Justin Hall instead of Sherratt?
yeah. Who's playing on the first line with Sider then?
Yeah, then you don't
Like-
have a pairing with Sider. So
And if-
right now, your first defensive pairing is Mo Sider and Ben Sherratt again.
All right, so then you're re-signing Sherratt after the season.
No. You cannot. You cannot.
That's why we're freaking out, Neil. There are a lot of questions. That
Okay,
still
I don't
need to
like
be
this
answered.
anymore.
Yeah,
No, it's scary.
it's a scary place, and like we said,
Okay, are you going to do the trade now? Would you have traded ASP now?
no, I would not have. We wanted Keandre Miller. Yes, we did. Carolina paid a premium to get him. I'm not mad the Red Wings didn't do that, but they need to do something.
Well, and a premium because it was a 2026 draft pick, and that's one of the most loaded draft classes in
Yeah.
recent history, which I'm also trying to – if I'm Steve Yzerman, I'm trying to also not get rid of that pick. So
I don't care about that pick.
I think Steve Yzerman
You're
does.
trying not to do it for sure. You would like, but if somebody's like, we need that 2026 pick, I'm giving it to him.
I'm giving him 2, but I think Steve Yzerman is really trying not to get rid of that pick.
Woodward Sports chat thread in the Super Chat before we go to the break. And this is also pretty sobering. Burn in the Super Chat. There are 77 games left for the Tigers. If the Tigers just win 37 of those 77, they'll have 90 wins.
Damn.
If they are 600 percentage in those games, they will flirt with 100 wins. So the Tigers have a 12-game lead over Cleveland with 77 games left.
That's insane.
And Spencer Raxter's not buying it till September.
Not until they clinch the division.
I'm buying it.
OVA. All right, let's take the break. When we come back, we will get into the Piston stuff. I got some Duncan Robinson stuff for you guys. Malik Beasley, a lot of news dropping on that. as well. And, of course, we'll talk some football as we will have the 4 Down segment coming on. Tell them about BlackRock.
BlackRock, I will tell them about BlackRock. It is our newest sponsor here at Woodward Sports, and it's just a great place to go get some dinner. Woodward Sports is turning up the heat with our new sizzling partner, BlackRock Bar and Grill, where you get steak on a stone served on a 755-degree volcanic rock. It's more than a meal, it's an experience. Enjoy lunch starting at $8.99. Rocking hours from 3 to 6 p.m. and daily specials. Come hungry and rock your steak only at BlackRock Bar and Grill. Stay tuned. A summer giveaway is coming that actually rocks. Visit blackrock.com to find a location near you. BlackRock Bar and Grill is, come on, where else are you going to get a better steak than that?
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson. Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports.
Rule here for Woodward merch. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. Get the very best in Detroit sports wearables. Yeah, I don't know if you know this or not, but the Lions are playing the Rams. You can get the Boot 'em Kid shirt. We're still moving those. Get geared up for going downtown to the baseball stadium all summer long. Shop the Woodward Tigers gear. Also, shop.woodwardsports.com. Hour number 2, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network, making our way towards 85,000 subscribers. So subscribe, jump into the chat, get your thoughts out there, click the like button since you're here as well. And as our good friend KG used to say, get your shit off. So go ahead and do that. And look, we wrapped up the Red Wing stuff there. DMAC, I know we're going to get into the Piston stuff, but I saved this for you, and I know you're not here tomorrow, and I talk about it on the Sports Business 4 Down Friday on a Thursday because of the holiday weekend. Sunday Night Baseball is the most watched Sunday Night Baseball season in 9 years. The ratings for the Tigers game were up 11% from the game that was on the same date last year. So that tells me one of 2 things. That either DMAC has campaigned and the streets know, which it could be, or, and just maybe, they should probably put the Tigers on Sunday Night Baseball more. Or both.
Both things can be true, Neil. This is one of those cases both things can be true. But I think there is, as we're talking about coming up on, Independence Day, July 4th, baseball is, the American pastime. And when you have must-see, I think Terry Skubal on the mound had stuff to do with it. I think the Tigers, where they're at right now, I'm not going to say that they get more props nationally than they do locally because we know how good they are and we've been, riding this train for a year. Right? Didn't it start like almost the end of July? Like almost a year ago, probably right? Where they kicked it in gear, where they were like a 1% or 0.1% chance to make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right. So it's legit, it's real. But yeah, if Sunday Night Baseball wants to continue that trend, I think that do they flex Sunday night games?
Typically, yes.
They do. So I would.
A couple weeks out.
I would expect you're going to see another Tarek Skubal try to time that up, or at least the Tigers again.
I would agree.
Look in end of July, maybe. What's the early August? Do they have a Sunday game? Who are they playing? Is there any interleague coming up? Is there stuff like that? So you probably spy something where they're looking at, because I got you. If we're having these conversations, Niels, the money guys got to be, especially with that.
You know what had 12% higher ratings than that on Sunday? The Rocket Mortgage Classic final round.
No way.
It peaked at over 5 million viewers.
Really?
Round 4 did, yes. Like, to give you a comp, the Tigers game, I believe, was a 2.2 rating that peaked at like 2.4 or something like that. And the Rocket Mortgage, I believe, was a 2.2 average, 2.3 average rating that peaked at over 5 million.
See, here's the thing. And this is where, and I know they're making changes to Detroit and making it different, but it's almost a perfect storm, the tournament, because coming off of what we all watched, the U.S. Open, and these guys struggle, the best in the world, to come to a tournament where, there was 5-6 guys that could have won on the back nine. And I think that, golf's hot right now, right, around the world, and being the worldwide sport, but people like to watch it. And I think they're more into it. And I think that this young talent and watching a guy hit it to 380 yards and have
you know what, D-Mac? Just real quick. Can I get a minute on it? And I know that a large majority of you don't care, but a large majority of you don't care about hockey either. So, since we're here right now,
ask me which one I care more about right now.
Golf.
Yes,
yeah.
so talk to me.
But I was disappointed in the – look, we always jump up and down about golf in Michigan. And I had this conversation on Monday with Mike Sullivan, as a matter of fact, the proprietor of the Metro Detroit Golfers Facebook page. We were talking about it. He had like some crazy stat about how like Michigan is the 4th best golf state in America.
Yeah.
I got to question that. What do you got, Chase?
Most golf courses per capita of any state in the United States.
There you go. Boom. There it is.
Shout out.
I was really disappointed with Michigan golf fans in the attendance at the Rocket Classic. Really disappointed, man. Because obviously the event was good, and you had this young kid that is number 1 in driving distance by over 6 yards over Rory McIlroy. Over 6 yards.
That's crazy.
He is the new John Daly.
Yeah.
He is, for real. Like, his distance is so much for... Like, their storylines were there. It was a wide-open leaderboard, as you said. And for the course is too easy crowd, it was basically the same score as what won at Pebble Beach. So maybe we need to get Pebble Beach off the PGA Tour rotation. Maybe Pebble Beach, just isn't a tough enough course. They do this everywhere, D-Mac. So I was disappointed, man. I was. So, again, just wanted to take a couple seconds on that. It's a great event. People should support it because nationally, people were locked into it. So, but we weren't here for whatever reason. Maybe the Tigers game played a part in that. I don't know. But I was very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed in it. So, all right, that being said, I wanted to sneak this in. Maybe I'll sneak it in a little bit later. All right, I want to get to the Pistons stuff, Spenny. So let's just get the break to keep it on the clock and tell them about Feldman, okay?
I will tell them about Feldman because Feldman is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They've got 5 different locations for you in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing. You see the different deals they've got this month on the screen right there. 2026 Equinox, $209 a month. 2025 Silverado, $1,500 crew, $149 per month. Scan the QR code on the screen. Make sure you check out Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you, whole again. Thenfights.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
At Gold Crown, concentrates are their bread and butter, crafting elite collab extracts since the caregiver days. Gold Crown partners with craft growers across Michigan to bring you exclusive full-spectrum concentrates, infused pre-rolls, and live resin-infused gummies. Their new line, Crown Jewels, is here. Gelatin-free, effect-based, coated in nerds for that extra pop. Find Gold Crown in over 300 dispensaries statewide. Smoke like royalty, all rise for the reign of royal highs. Only with Gold Crown.
All right, we are back at it. Neil Rule and Darren McCarty. We have Chase and intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Neil, the PGA has no one to blame but themselves. They killed their league and Liv took advantage. No one cares outside the majors. I told you, it peaked at over 5 million viewers. Double what Sunday Night Baseball was with Scooble pitching. Someone cares. Someone cares. I know it's easy to just say, well, no one cares about the majors. That's a phenomenal. You could add Sunday Night Baseball and Caitlin Clark's last game and not get those numbers together. So I'm just kind of relating the material there. Cody Engel, I thought the crowd was really good Sunday. Cody, was nowhere near what it's been in the past on a Sunday. Friday was desolate there. So, again, like if we're such great golf fans here in the state, where was everyone? The tour was here, man. Daniel Regelbruge, greetings from Deutschland. You guys continue to rock it. I appreciate you. People need to please calm down. Iserman has squared the F away and knows what he's doing. LFG, Detroit Sports.
Everything is awesome.
Do you think I'm an everything is awesome guy?
No.
Okay. I just got to get, Josh Hickey, I was hating on Cobb till he got hurt, and we tanked. So.
Yeah. Cop was good when he was
healthy. So it was your fault.
Yeah. Cop was good when he was healthy.
Okay.
17-6-2.
Yeah, he's an important piece. You don't have – I mean, you look at the top 6 forwards.
17-6-2.
You look at
are you – like, that's legit.
You look at the top 6 forwards on this team, none of them are penalty killers. So you need Cop really bad. Hopefully Soderblom can become a penalty killer. I don't know why Rasmussen isn't good. I mean, he's just kind of soft now. I'm starting to fucking fade on Ras pretty fast. But yeah, well, we're not talking about Red Wings. I don't. Something's gonna happen. Something is gonna happen. They're gonna get somebody, and they better get 2 people.
Here's the thing. Wait till next week. Last year, the splash, as Justin told you earlier, was July 8th or a couple years ago.
Yep.
It's just I don't like that they've painted themselves into a corner now where they have to rely on trades.
Last thing on it, and we're moving on. And I lost it, so I forget who it was that sent it, but asked a question basically saying, Neil, when is it fair to question the pro scouting of the Red Wings and Steve Yzerman? And then I will go
now.
I'm sorry, in the draft scouting.
Oh, draft scouting?
Yeah.
No, I mean.
And then I'll go to it, and I'll say this. Again, his first draft, you got Mo Sider, Johansson, who you said, is you're souring on.
He's a NHL player.
Yeah, he's good.
Soderblom in the 6th round.
Is fine.
The next draft, you got Lucas Raymond.
Yep.
The draft after that, you got Simon
who else
Edvinsson.
is on that list of Lucas Raymond?
Wallander was
Wallander.
Nah.
Yeah, there isn't.
Hopefully Wallander can make the team this year.
Well, what I'm saying, okay.
The rest of it was tough because they had 4 seconds and 2/3. Wallander, Niederbach, Hannes, Sabrengo, Vero, Sam Strange, Jan Bednar. It was tough after that.
Yep.
No doubt.
His first round picks have been good.
Yeah. Draft after that, Edvinsson, Major was in that draft.
That's a good pick.
The 3rd round.
Major will help on the PK next year.
2022, Marco Kasper, Johansson was in the 4th round.
Yep. Big Johansson.
23 was Nate Danielson, ASP. That was the 2 first-round picks. Trey Augustine in the 2nd, Gibson in the 2nd. I am going to calm down on the Trey Augustine thing based on the Kosa thing. Sorry if that makes me a bad guy. He's going back to college this year, dude. He's years away.
A year or 2. Yeah.
3.
That's my point.
That's why you traded for John Gibson, because Kosa's not ready. And you need it. Steve Yzerman said we might need another bridge. And if you need another bridge, you're not bridging to Kosa, you're bridging to Augustine.
So there you go. Okay. All right. Pistons. Duncan Robinson in the fold. And look, like, I think people were surprised. I was surprised. Were you surprised, Benny?
I was surprised a little bit, but the deal's pretty good.
It is really good, as a matter of fact. So, D-Mac, you know why I think people popped on this too? And I'm just kind of relating the material, non-guaranteed year 3. I'm kind of relating the material in this. Do you think that the lack of Red Wings, I don't want to call it aggression or the lack of activity or whatever, do you think that played a part? Because the Duncan Robinson thing popped people. You think the lack of the Red Wings movement?
Yeah, I mean, James Van Riemsdyk or Duncan Robinson, because of his ties, because of Michigan, because of the fact of whatever else. So Beasley's not here the way you need a shooter. I like the fact of what you guys brought up yesterday, that he's never had a guy like Cade to play with. Maybe you brought it up earlier today. But that means ball distribution. And my whole thing is this: as long as he can get open and get to his spots and get there quickly, right? Do you – and I know Beasley had an unbelievable year last year, but I look at Duncan Robinson like as a plain shooter. And with guys like that, isn't it more of like a Bogdanovich?
He's pretty much the same thing as Malik Beasley.
As who?
Malik Beasley.
Except for this. The basketball people I talk to, and I'm yeah. I'll allow it.
Too soon?
I'll allow it from you, D-Mac. I'll allow it.
Yeah, because I've been there.
That's fair.
There it is. That's how you go. You're allowed to say it because you have from experience.
Here's the deal. With him, do you know that I think it was 2 years ago, he led the NBA in picks set? I had no idea of that. Led the NBA.
How big is he?
He's like 6'5", 6'6", I think.
No, but I mean, he doesn't come across as I think of him as a pick setter.
It's what in Miami he's 6'7". 6'7".
Okay, but I don't think of I think of him more of a slight outside shooter guy than it is a guy that's in the mix setting picks for guys.
In Miami, what they like to do a lot with Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo is run kind of a give and go at the top of them setting picks
Counter
for each
motion,
other and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Do we do something like that here?
Yeah.
Well,
could he fit into that system here?
Jalen Duren's a pretty good passer for his position.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it is clear what Trajan Langdon and J.B. Bickers, that they are locked together.
Yes.
They are locked together. Again, when the signing got announced, I was like, okay, it's not, I'm not saying no to a 40% career three-point shooter. No way am I doing that.
Yep.
I thought it was funny. The Michigan fans chimed in. Michigan Wolverine great is back. He didn't even average double figures at Michigan. So they didn't probably use him correctly because he's one of the best shooters in the NBA. I kid, Michigan fans, I kid. But anyway, who's going to say no to a 40% three-point shooter and a guy that shoots free throws at an 89% clip last year? No one. No one's going to say no to that. But what got me excited was when I was talking to the basketball people, and right away when I got told that, and parlayed, and they brought up what you brought up too about what they did in Miami. He has never played with a distributor that he's going to play with that has the ball in his hand like Cade.
Kyle Lowry is probably the best distributor he's played with.
And Spenny, bringing up Duren as a passer and his willingness to set picks, bounce off said picks, and go with Cade coming downhill.
Yeah. No, Duncan Robinson, it was a perfect pivot from Malik Beasley.
Yes.
Like a perfect fit. He's
That
the same
was
guy.
the Malik Beasley replacement.
Yes, they're the same player. Duncan Robinson's just a white dude.
What's the money?
It was like $16 million a year, somewhere around there.
Spot Track has it at 3 for 45, but they also have that third year is guaranteed, and it's coming out that the third year is not fully guaranteed.
Amari Sankofa came
where
out
does it-
that the third year is not guaranteed, and the second year isn't fully guaranteed.
Partially guaranteed.
Yeah.
So
Where does that fit into the book?
It's the same. It's basically the same contract you were going to give Beasley.
So you're swapped out, and then you don't have to deal with any whatever else.
bingo.
And here's the thing: with however the Beasley stuff plays out, that's a distraction, and you don't have that in your locker room.
Yeah.
No. Instead, you have a guy, again, that shoots free throws at a 90% clip last year, 89% clip, and his career 40% three-point shooter. So, again, I love this move even more. To me, I was kind of indifferent to it, but talking to the basketball people, I like it more and more. I'm really excited. You know what this also tells me, Spenny and D-Mac? I think you're going to see this Pistons team play at a greater pace. I think we're going to see this Pistons team try to get in transition more because, again, of what you're able to do with Cade having the basketball.
And who are you adding back? Who are you adding back to your roster? Jaden Ivey.
Yep.
What is Jaden Ivey known for? Oh, my God, he can get down floor in 5 strides. Speed, right? Pushing the pace and stuff like this. So it's sort of, you can see the writing on the wall. I think when we're talking about, like, the playbook and everything's right ahead of you with the Pistons, with the Tigers, with the Lions, it's there too where we can transcribe it. We want to figure out what's going on with the Tigers and Scooble and stuff like that, but pretty much have an understanding. That's all we ask for with the Red Wings. That's why it's so frustrating, because you have to make a move, you want to make a move, you know what you need, all this other stuff, and it's just been this long. So, yeah, no, shout out to the Pistons for. But this is sort of the Pistons' way, and I think the lockstep is the number one thing.
It is, and it just
With the coach
tells
and
you
GM,
they are going to play at pace, and they're going to get in transition because that is when they're going to be most deadly. Mm-hmm. And I think that doesn't change too. If they would have went the Beasley route, that doesn't change. The Duncan Robinson is the replacement for Malik Beasley, and it's very, very good. And I am excited to see him in an offense with a true distributor of the basket. Duncan Robinson's about to be unlocked. For real. As good as the moments he had in Miami, which he did. He had some great moments in Miami.
Made more threes than anybody in the franchise's history.
Yeah. And there was Dan Marley.
He had a couple really good playoff runs, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jimmy Butler. No. Cade Cunningham, man. It's going to...
Jimmy Butler is not the facilitator or shot creator that Cade Cunningham is.
He's actually kind of a ball stopper.
Yeah.
He's
an isolation scorer.
BD Thought Criminal. I love how Neil refuses to read my super chats. Has to be a command from the top. Stick is an itch. Get on Rumble. I won't read the slur you used. BD3, did I miss him? Here, I'll go back and look at him. Let me see. I'll pull him up right now, as a matter of fact. BD3. Oh, damn, this channel's still around? Yeah, we are.
And you're paying for it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that is we're pushing towards 100,000 subscribers. Guess what else is funny about it, BD3? We destroy the
flagship.
We destroy the flagship digitally. It's not a fair fight. And we destroy them.
And BDE, thank you for paying to talk to us.
Yeah, to continue that.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And he paid again. He said top of the line.
Okay. Cool. So, no, dude, I don't refuse to read anybody's supers. I don't. I'll read them. I'll read them all, man. And then I will give you the data to prove that you don't know what you're talking about, my friend. Destroying them digitally. Not a fair fight. BD3, we had 80,000 people watch me and Spencer watch a football game.
Yep.
80,000 people. Did 80,000 people listen to the flagship or watch a flagship ever?
That's a
No.
good question.
No, they did not. So you can say it. If it's wrong, I'm going to check you on it with data that's publicly viewable.
Detroit Dabber in the Woodward Sports Chat says, I don't like you. Here's $10. It's fair.
So there you go, BD3.
I don't know why the chat's being so sensitive today. It's crazy.
What's the problem?
There's just a lot of people in the chat being super sensitive. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's July. I don't know.
Okay.
A lot of people being very sensitive.
It's the weekend. That's how you know they're saucy, getting ready. They
Yeah,
want to
you
go
guys-
blow up some firecrackers.
You guys crying in the chat, just get some Mad Packs and relax. Listen, you can find Mad Packs at getmadpacks.com, and you'll feel better. You won't be such little pussies about everything. Make sure you go to Get Mad Packs and get the high-low pre-rolled. They're amazing. You can get the Boom Shakalaka Tarantulas that are awesome. The Blizzard Pack THCA Moon Rocks that are great, or just the regular weed. They got the Cherry Runs. Great stuff. Mad Packs is about to be in a lot more stores very soon, so make sure you go to getmadpacks.com to find a location near you.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Ven Johnson.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Neil Roll here for Buddy's Pizza. They created the category for the original Detroit-style pizza. They've been serving it up since 1946. 22 locations. There's one near you. A cornerstone of Detroit. They've been in the game 79 years, everybody. They're a dedicated community partner, great relationships and great projects and partnerships with the Michigan Humane Society, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, shout out Chase, and more. Save 10% off your order right now. Go to buddiespizza.com, use a promo code 10meal, boom, 10%. Lunch, dinner, whatever is served. Buddy's Pizza, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. Keeping it pushing, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, and of course Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Baxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Use the super chat if you want to skip the line. BD3, no brother, I've been here 3 years. You don't think I know what's going on? I don't. I don't know if you know what's going on. I know what's going on. What do you have, Chase?
I was going to say, if anyone in the chat ever comes to the zoo, I'm usually working on a weekend. If you ever find me, I'll buy you a slice of Buddies.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there and get your thoughts out there. L, do subs bring earnings, though? Don't live viewers matter more? Well, how do you get more live viewers? All right. Hey, am I giving away the secret formula here, Spenny? As to how YouTube works?
I honestly don't know what's going on.
So you take your left hand, Neil, and you use it to wash your right hand, and you take your right hand and you use it to wash your left hand, and then they kind of go side by side together.
It's like, is Mercury in Gatorade or something? Like, why is people are fucking? I don't know.
I don't know either, my friend. I don't know either. Double G in the super chat. And remember, kids, be safe with fireworks this weekend. Leave them for the adults who have been drinking all day.
That is true.
Again, DMAC, I talked about it yesterday. One thing that I can promise you will not see this weekend is local sports broadcaster blows hand off in firework accident. Neil Rule
pertaining
of Washington
to you.
Township.
Yeah, it could happen. ... Will not happen to me. I promise you. People say never. I'm telling you, never. Never. Ever. Will you read that story that I blew my hand off in a firework incident? I don't get the appeal. I think they're kind of stupid. 4th of July, you want to do it to celebrate, fine. I'll never understand the logic of an M80 or a quarter stick of dynamite. It doesn't even go up in the air and explode or shoot off, I don't get it, but whatever. We'll leave that for another day. But yeah, no, we're wrapping up the Pistons discussion. I really like what they've done. I really like the Duncan Robinson thing. I think it's gonna unlock DNC ENT. People don't know how YouTube works, Neil. Shh. Sorry, did I give away the company secret? Yep.
Are we doomed?
Crack the code.
Are we doomed? It sounds cool, Neil. Okay. But anyway, though, I like what they're doing. There seems to be a unison within the organization. And look, D-Mac, I don't want to get too deep into this, but some of the Malik Beasley stuff's coming out right now. And just debts to promotionals, agency teams and stuff like that for advances. And look, I'll say it like this. Things change for Malik Beasley very, very quickly. And D-Mac, I always say how the spot track and the contracts can be your guide as to what's happening. I think with Malik Beasley, to go from $14 million a year to $2 million a year at 26, when you probably weren't prepared for that, you know what I'm saying? Can be a jolting experience, certainly if you're living a lifestyle a certain kind of way. The man's going through a divorce and things like that, which probably tells you that there are some other expenditures. I don't want to make excuses for the guy. I don't. But I will say this. Before we go pile on this guy and what's happened to him in his life financially, it's easy for us to say, we haven't been there. That's all. And I'll leave it at that.
A lot of you haven't. I have.
Darren McCarty.
I've been there. ...
Yeah. You've been open about this too.
Yeah,
You wrote about it in a book and all that kind of stuff. You're living proof of this.
100 million %. I mean, when this came out, it's not as shocking, and a lot of it has to do with, for me is not having. It's all my responsibility too, whatever. But I'm a different person than I was back then.
We all are.
The perspective and people that I surrounded myself with, turned out not to have my interests at heart. And it seems some of the case here, but there is the gambling part or whatever else, you get into it deep. And I think like you said, Neil, the lifestyle sort of it got away before it got under control. And I mean, it explains the money and the why and why the gambling allegations and stuff trying to get out of it. And then you hear about, dentists having, people having his, NBA pay.
Garnishing his pay
and stuff. So there's some, that's some serious stuff. And it's stuff that, I empathize with them. I've been through a lot of that stuff. I mean, you got to remember, I went through the bankruptcy and all that different stuff, and hopefully just he's got a lot of stuff coming down on him right now, and just hopefully he's getting some good advice and good people. I fought back. It took a while to fight out of it, but it's also too is that's why I preach self-awareness, because I didn't have very much.
Yeah.
Right, of perspective to reality. Right, so reality's hit him really hard, but if he's anything of the person that he is, the basketball player, he's resilient. So he's got to be as resilient now, and
it's
one of those things. Unless you've been in those shoes, but it can get away real quick. I mean, it's not, and yes, that's an exorbitant amount of money, but it really, when it starts pitfall and you start chasing things, and whether it's gambling or lifestyles and stuff like this to try to keep up with different things and trying to you get into other things that aren't as secure and safe because you're still trying to make up for other things, and it just spirals down. And so, I'm gonna say a prayer and hopefully, that these are things that he can bounce back from, and we will hear, a good ending out of this.
Adis 411 Beasley, get a damn financial advisor. Again, easy for
How do you
us
not
to
know
say, and how do you
that
not know he
the
didn't have it?
financial advice, like a lot of this time, what every financial advisor is good? Let me tell you, no, they're not. No, they're not. So get the right financial advisor. Get the right people in your career. It doesn't matter what it is. Do it right.
And here's something too, like there are guys that have kind of weaseled their way into the approved leagues. Have like a list. I would assume
And they didn't used to.
They didn't used to
with agents and everything
Yeah.
else, and now it's credible. And you know what? That's the difference between where I look back is that, and no, we don't all have the same guys representing us or doing that stuff. I mean, I know where I made the mistakes and should have gone with a different person. But these things happen. It's just like life. Like, look at it in your own situation with people you run in different situations, whether it's work, going to get a service done. You got to get your car done, get your brakes done. You know what I mean? Cost you $1,000, and the guy do a good job. Is he dependably going to go back, or you got to go get him fixed again in a month?
Right.
It's just life. And I think that let's just wait to hear everything that comes out, because it will come out. And right now I just choose to have compassion.
And I guess, D-Mac, because again, you've been open about it, you've talked about it in your book, and you've talked about it publicly. If you had a piece of advice right now for Malik Beasley, what would it be?
It's like anything else, right? There's no as far as digging a hole or whatever, there's no end. It'll keep going until you face it and just sort of stop and say, okay, this is everything that's going on. Like you mentioned divorce, and you mentioned now he's, trying to find a contract or stuff like this. It's just, you got to, now the fact that the gig's sort of up, you just got to come clean with everything else. I don't sense maliciousness.
I don't either. Like that's,
what I'm saying?
It just was one of those
I didn't
things,
have
yeah.
maliciousness in all mine, but I also know where I chose to not trust other people that I should have, their advice, right? And trusting the wrong people because my intentions weren't pure, right? Not
At
to
that
do
time,
it the
yeah.
wrong way, but just in the lifestyle that I was in, it was just, and you get caught up on it. When you get caught, like, it's the whole thing is like, when I say like the D-Mac to Darren comparison, like, knew who D-Mac was when I was 6, took me to 4 to 6 to meet Darren. Now, difference is Darren runs the show. D-Mac's still there, comes out, but it's self-awareness. So I'm a big thing about redemption and finding out what you're all about, and it's in the worst of times. We'll see what it's all about, but just you gotta, come clean and then that's where, Neil, I think I just take the temperature, and I just think that he just got caught with the wrong people and the wrong thing, other than he was being malicious. Like if this was like a guy like Antonio Brown or somebody else, well, yeah, this
Like
is
a
all
goofball, yeah.
like just the way that he acts. I don't get that vibe from Malik Beasley. I don't get that vibe from the people like him and his teammates and stuff like this. It's just unfortunate that doesn't matter what you do. Sometimes this life's gonna throw these things at you.
Yeah. So again, it's and I told the story too. That guy Matt Beasley seems to be suffering from a condition called dummy syndrome that happens continuously, it seems. Well, that guy Matt, like, again, man, for him, like D-Mac was trying to tell you, like this does happen. It happened to him, and he shares the story. And
Yeah,
it's not,
and I take responsibility for it. And even like I know where, but it wasn't like, and it's about like when what he has to do, right? Just face that the fact. Take responsibility.
reality, yeah.
Take a responsibility for how your not the stupidity, but the trust and whatever else. I bet you can tell you why I did this because of this, and because I thought it would bring this. That's where he's wrong, and that's where you need right people around you. That's why it's always a lot of things. What do you find? And you find this a lot in hockey is that guys that you grew up with, right? They stay tight to the guys you grew up with because they know who you are. And a lot of times in sports and celebrity and stuff like that, you mentioned it earlier, different people find a way in. And the responsibility is, you shouldn't trust certain people, but that's life.
No, absolutely. Woodward Sports Super Chats, got some of those to get to here, and subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Let me see here. Double G21. The fireworks one. That was pretty good. BD3 again. Adam Baydoun at the BP. Well, I don't know. I can't speak to that. I don't know. Thomas Perry, I can't always watch at work, but I always try to listen. What is the flagship I often hear about? ESPN, the 8 o'clock show? Sorry, I missed the intel. Happy Independence Day, fellow Americans. Well, it's where you can catch most of the team's games on the radio, the flagship. Soccer Night in Detroit. However, smoke bombs are cool at Keyworth. Well, yeah, there's not this huge explosion.
They're not firecrackers.
They're not firecrackers that blow a hole in the ground for no apparent reason.
One of my favorite pitchers ever.
Shout out. Dumbo Jumbo. Neil, as you are my EV insider, my brother got a hybrid. Can he put that as an EV on his taxes? Appreciate y'all, unlike some people. I'm not a tax professional, so I don't know. I know I got the tax incentive when I bought my EV. That played a part in my purchase of it. If you have any EV questions, though, sure, fire away. I will answer them. A lot of people won't like the answers for some reason. But again, I answer them in the same fashion of based in reality and how the real world works. So yeah, that's where it is. And I told you guys this too. When I did my first Pistons game this year in the preseason, we were leaving on a road trip, and Malik Beasley came up to me, introduced himself. One of the very few in that line that does that. Literally introduced himself to every single person on the airplane. And I hope he gets things squared away, man. I hope he does. And kind of like what D-Mac said, it's all going to start with, okay, this is what the score is on the scoreboard here with 9 minutes left in the game. What do we have to do to win this game? And that's what it is. And it's tough because you can see how it can happen in that lifestyle. You can see how it can happen very easily. Yeah, and there, you know how I know? There's a ton of examples of it. So, one for one of my very good friends in my life. So, who is also open about it. But all right, let's take the break. There's something else I want to get to. Lady Jane.
Yeah, guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign in, before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Tired of losing out on the car of your dreams? Bad credit? No credit? At the Feldman Chevrolet Freedom Sale, we say yes. Over 5,000 new Chevys to choose from, all priced to move with our best deals of the year. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $149 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for only $209 a month. When other dealers say no, Feldman Chevrolet says yes. Don't miss the Freedom Sale, going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Second Best Bar in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
Enjoy Loom Cannabis refreshing buzzing favorites like watermelon, cherry, strawberry, or cool off with the 2 new summer flavors, raspberry, lemonade, and peach. Crack a can, take a sip, catch a buzz. Available at any of Loom's 38 locations across Michigan. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in store. Go to www.loom.com today.
All right, keep it a pushing. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We have Chase. We also have intern Simeon. We have Spencer Raxter as well. Oh, I almost forgot about the 4-down. We got to get that into play. I have some Michigan stuff that I want to get to. You want to rock it out, Simeon? You want to do it now? Is we cool with that, Spenny?
Yeah, fuck it. We'll do it live.
We will.
Fucking thing sucks.
All right. We told you this was happening. It's July, so it's officially football season. So we will do a football-themed 4-down every single day from now till football season. That's how it's going to work.
It's fair.
Intern Simeon's responsible for it. At the end of this, when Simeon's moving on, we'll have a Missouri football one.
There you go.
And it'll be fun. Damn it. Fun.
So they go 1-4 in November and make it not fun
but
anymore.
but just think about the times when they're going to be 7-1 and ranked
That's
13th.
true. Yeah, the ride, the journey.
The journey. It's all about the journey. All right, Simeon, let's rock it. And what we got? NFL today?
Yeah, NFL. There's
all right, let's do it.
CBS piece, biggest red flags for all Super Bowl contenders. I picked out 4.
Biggest red flags for all Super Bowl contenders.
They did. They
intriguing.
did a list of 10. I picked out 4. We're
Okay.
gonna start with the Bills. Their big game defense. They said it's popular to critique them for lack of pass catchers, but the big game defense is what gets them every time.
Well, whatever, let you save Josh Allen,
Exactly.
right? Whatever your narrative is
Yeah.
to save
Gotta
him.
protect him.
It's always a receiver or it's always a deep. He's good, Spenny. I know he's good.
Really
he's one of
good.
the best in the league.
MVP.
But when it all comes down to it, and the boogeyman's across the sideline, it just never seems to work out. I'll say it like that. But yes, I mean, I don't know, D-Mac, that I can say, like, I like a lot of the tools they have, like Gregory Rousseau and guys like, I like the tools they have on defense, and the offense doesn't seem to suffer. So, D-Mac, I guess I don't know what the problem is with the Bills. Is it just Patrick Mahomes and that's it? Is that their problem?
No, it just seems like when they need to make that play, they just can't. Whether it's on defense, and I think more has, I guess, you've seen more of defense. That's just like last year and stuff like this. But it always just seems that they're a play away, right? And we always look to say, well, it's Josh Allen's got to carry him. Sometimes he needs a little help. Like, even if you're Superman, even if you're Mahomes doesn't do it all himself. We saw what happens when you take away his blocking. He looks mortal.
Yes.
Stuff like this. So
as all quarterbacks do.
Whatever it is, whether it's making a catch, making a play, getting a stop, the Buffalo just needs to make that play, and they can never seem to make the play when they need to.
Fair point. Second down.
How about the Commanders? Injury-prone veterans from their big swing trades: Deebo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, and Javon Kinlaw on the defensive side.
You know what? I've been waiting for somebody to talk about that. Did they move too quickly? Did they do what I think people wanted the Lions to do?
They might have walked into the trap a little bit. Yeah.
That's D-Mac. That's the sense I could get. Like, you're gonna let this all hinge on Deebo Samuel? Like, really? Like, that's going to be the move? Or 40-year-old lineman? I don't know, D-Mac. I don't know that I like it. And look, they have a very, very good quarterback. Jaden Daniels, I've been on that guy since college, man. He's very, very good. But at the same time, D-Mac, did they move too quickly with those names? Deebo Samuel doesn't say, all right, we're here, to me anyway.
No, but I think that they're looking for, like, the final piece. I look at the Deebo like what they did defensively with the Bobby Wagner and whatever, and I think it's more like the culture and having somebody there to make some of those plays for Jaden Daniels. So health-wise, like, that's a big thing, availability, because I still think Deebo's got a little left in the tank if he's available. So it's like the Bobby Wagner effect for them on offense. That's how I look at it, like the veteran guy. So, and maybe he's inspired to get out of San Francisco and go do it somewhere else. So, well, look, Deebo's like one of those guys that, like, what's his motivation level? And then we'll see.
And it changes week to week.
But that's what I'm saying. If he's motivated and
what's
wants
his Burger King order?
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is.
True, too. That boy put on some pounds,
Yes,
man.
he did. And he's looking pretty big.
Well, that's the whole thing, too, is that right? We're just...
So maybe there is no motivation level.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what with Deebo, it's like it's like, where's his motivation level to stay healthy and stuff? And yeah, that's true. I did see tape on him. Large man. So we'll wait and see.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Cartier, nobody said a Super Bowl run was easy. Cartier, I'm told that every day in the chat with the Lions. Just go trade for this guy who's not available, and then boom, you win the Super Bowl. Right?
It's true.
Spenny, were we not told that?
That is true.
It is easy. We were told it is easy here. Was I lied to? Spenny, was I lied to?
You might have been.
I may have been. Shane Daniel in the Super Chat. 12-year-old me, I was born in 1988, would ish himself if he knew that he would be in the same chat on a daily basis with Darren McCarty. It's effing surreal. Fox 2.
Cheers. Welcome. Enjoy it, too.
Good to have you, no doubt. Third down.
The reigning defending Philadelphia Eagles defensive turnover replacing starters at each level. They're going to need Ojulari and Adoree Jackson to play key roles just to maintain the success that they had.
No one's talking about that. They think, would you rather be the Lions replacing a coordinator or the Eagles replacing, did you hear what he said? A starter at every level. And I know that we're conditioned, right, with the Eagles. And rightfully so. They've racked a couple of Super Bowls here in the last 8+ years. Rightfully so. But D-Mac, like, all the questions are about the Lions defensively and the defensive coordinator, and will they get up to speed? I'm way more concerned about that. Obviously, I'm not, because I have a Super Bowl championship in tow from last year. But in a vacuum, D-Mac, that's aggressive. No one's talking about it.
No, 100%. 100%. I think I'd rather have the coordinator with the players, right? Because you're not going to change that much. You're either going to bring a new coordinator. You could change the whole system and stuff like that, but we know that's not the case when you promote within, right? It's just tweaking it and stuff like that. I think the questions are up for grabs, and that's something to put in the back of your mind, right? Is the one thing is not only because the whole thing is it should be a Philly-Detroit thing if they're both healthy. Right, but again, the question mark is like how are their new guys going to react to these positions and on every level? You think, what are the odds they're not all going to pan out, right? Like they're gonna have some struggle at some aspect, no matter where it is.
They're going to at some point. They will.
Now,
they've got.
What do you think? What do you think's harder for some? If everybody's learning a new system together or learning a new coordinator together as a team, or do you think it's harder as individual guys to come in and learn, right? Like as a system. Sometimes I think that's hard. I think it's one of these things that let's wait and see.
Yeah, and like, look, if there's an organization you're not going to doubt,
no,
it's them.
Right.
It's them.
And what is Howie Roseman really, and what are they good at? Player assessment, right? They get players in there. They get dogs in there. You know, guys that can elevate their game.
Woodward Sports chat thread, DNC ENT. Too quickly, no, they did what they're supposed to do. Capitalize on a rookie QB contract. They did their job. So, Spenny, where are you with the Commanders on those moves?
I mean, they are injury play, but I agree with DNC. This is their window, and they added the players that they think best fit them. I like Deebo Samuel as a second option behind Terry McLaurin in the receiving ranks.
Can you trust him?
No.
Like, are you going to put it? Here's when you boil it all down, Spenny. I'm not hitching my wagon to Deebo Samuel.
But they're not hitching their wagon to Deebo Samuel. They're hitching their wagon to Jaden Daniels and putting pieces around him to get that wagon going.
And I'm not subjecting the locker room to that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work with him.
I think Dan Quinn is going to build a strong enough locker room where that's not going to have a problem.
Okay. Can we agree it's risky?
It is risky.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always risky when you sign an out of his prime, out of shape wide receiver who's really only had one really good year in the NFL.
Nobody ever brings that up.
Yeah.
Because his name's Deebo. For real.
Like, and he does both. He's a running back, too.
Yeah, for real.
Deebo had one really good year. He's never been this elite wide receiver. I think he's a good fit with them because I think he's going to do a lot of the off-script stuff very well. And when Jaden Daniels is moving around and making things happen, Deebo Samuel can find open space. He's very good with the ball in his hands and off-script plays. So I think if you're using him as a secondary option and kind of a a security blanket if things go wrong. I think that'll be a good fit for Debo.
BD3 in the super chat. Gold jacket loading. Tanay
Shout out.
Sewell? Yeah, no doubt. All right, fourth down.
The Detroit Lions' biggest red flag, they say, is staffing turnover. Notice the only off-the-field, really kind of non-player-related red flag. And someone said in the chat, having Shep stay is big because guys know what to expect. Like, the guys have that already kind of in place. They know what to expect from him. So,
No, it's 100% fair. But again, I'm not expecting the Corvette to be running at full capacity, maximum efficiency in week one. I'm just not, because we can do this all we want. We can do the camps and we can do the preseason games and all of it. That game is different. In a regular season Sunday, man, that game is different. And until you're in that chair, in that moment, going up against the schedule that they're going to be going up against, D-Mac, I think it's fair to have a wait and see approach. I expect that to take a minute or two. Am I crazy for that?
No, not at all. It's going to develop or whatever, but are you worried about the coordinators? Because of Johnny Morton's been here. You look at the situation that there's familiarity. So I think they're going to have to establish their identity under Johnny Morton. As far as Calvin Shepard goes, it's sort of like he's going to tweak what Aaron Glenn sort of started. The interesting thing is how much do they blitz? What, different looks are they going to get and stuff like that. So I'm not at all concerned. Was never at all concerned with who they hired. It's more or less like they promoted within. I know Morton was with Denver, but he was here the year before that. So he's very familiar with Dan Campbell.
It's good. Solid. I like it. Very, very solid. We got to see, Spenny, I thought that was good.
That was good.
We're edging in.
Oh, yeah.
We're not, we're not going off the high dive into the cannonball.
We're not gooning the NFL season. We are edging the NFL season with these. Very good edge job, Simeon. You did terrific at edging.
Just the fingernail, not the full knuckle.
We just came up 4 minutes short. 4 minutes short.
Just missed it.
We absolutely.
Oh, you said edge. How do you expect me to react when you're saying edge? That's on you. Tell us about White Claw.
Hey, well, the White Claw Tigers tour is on you.
No edging at the White Claw Tigers tour. It is
there's
full
not.
release.
Calling all Tigers fans, Spencer and Easy, the final White Claw Tigers tour stop Friday, July 11th. Second best in Detroit. You guys know it well. Be a part of the fun. See the reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to the best team in baseball. It's the White Claw Tigers tour, and it's all brought to you by plenty of White Claw bumping around there.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or simply just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got over 30 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite products today. Make sure you check out Darren McCarty brand, available everywhere.
All right, that's it. Final segment of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Real quick, Spenny, can I do this Michigan thing? Just a minute on it?
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh obviously has been named, as has Michigan President Santo Ono, as defendants in a lawsuit related to the Matt Weiss hacking case. Also, Ward Manuel listed as well. And everyone's kind of piecing out, or has already.
Yep.
One left for a job that he couldn't get.
That got turned down.
But it's nothing, right?
It's a nothing burger.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
It's fair.
It's weird. Everybody just
Disgusting that they allowed him to coach.
Tigers 105.
The lawsuit claims that both Jim Harbaugh and other university officials were aware that Weiss had been accessing students' private information before the 2022 Fiesta Bowl. I bet if he had that to do over again, he'd have sat that one out. That's all. But again, it's nothing. Yes, Tigers. Somebody asked Jake Rogers in the lineup. They're playing a doubleheader today, bro.
Yep.
It's July.
You're not going to have a catcher start back-to-back games in a doubleheader.
Oh, and they play tomorrow too.
Yeah.
You want to play 27 innings in 24 hours?
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, tomorrow. So, D-Mac, what do you got popping this weekend, man? Just America?
Got the grandkids.
Got the ground. That's right. Yeah, you said about that. You talked about
Absolutely.
that. I believe it's me and Sean tomorrow.
You and Sean tomorrow.
We will do a 4-Down Friday on Thursday.
Shout out.
So we will be doing that. Spencer Raxter, 4th of July, 4-Down.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. We're going to do it. All right, for D-Mac, Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter, thanks for tapping in. Well, see you later.